The deck of the week this week is Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. I haven't played this deck yet, so I thought it was time. It's had a couple of 5-0s recently, and it's always been a pretty consistent performer in the format, so I thought I'd finally give it a try. I've never been a huge fan of the mono blue strategies, but they're good, so you can't just ignore them forever. And it does help to know what, even if you don't like playing a deck, it helps to know what the deck's strengths and weaknesses are. So, one thing I definitely don't like, it's a great card, but Temporal Fissure is a very unfun card. Like, it wins the game without actually winning the game. It just kind of, your opponent, or if you're playing against it, then you just kind of sit there and wait to die. And Jace isn't very quick at actually killing you, so it never feels good to have Temporal Fissure resolved against you. It's a very unfun card. If they printed it these days, it obviously would say non-land permanent, and also I think they've learned not to print anything with Storm anymore. But it's still a good card, so you don't just not play it. But man, it is an unfun card. But we're gonna use it anyways if we draw it. So, but the rest of the deck is pretty standard Magic. It's a lot of it's not full counterspell like Baral is. You do let your opponent interact a little bit before you just time walk a million times and then find a way to win. So it actually plays a lot like the Teferi deck, except the commander is a little bit cheaper, but for at least a turn it might die to creature removal. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Alright, we got match 1. We are on the play. Playing against Tasigur. I think this is pretty keepable. Good chance that turn 2 Jace dies to removal, but it's probably fine. Jace is really good, but the deck doesn't wholly rotate around Jace. You can still kind of play around it. Cyclonic Rift on Tasigur is pretty good as well because the cost of it is deferred by the graveyard, and once it's gone, it's gone. So it can take a couple turns to build up that critical graveyard to cast Tasigur for 1 mana. Alright. Nile Spellbomb's actually... There's quite a few graveyard interactions, including Jace himself, Think Twice. I'm going to cast Jace. We didn't even have to worry about days, only Force of Will. Alright, Fatal Push is fine. I mentioned that could happen. Pieces of the puzzle stacks up a graveyard pretty well. I think I want Delay. And I think I want Peak. I'd like to get a look at his hand. Well, that sucks. I don't think Cyclonicing it is very good. We'll just go ahead and play another Jace. He actually missed a land drop, didn't he? If we can flip Jace next turn, we can think twice, or we can Temporal Manipulation. Looks like you... What do you draw? Oh, go for the throat. Alright, so Jace is dying again. That's fine. It's not great. He didn't draw a land, though. I don't think temporal manipulation really does anything here. Let's just say go. We can look at his hand, counter some spells. Force of will. Okay. He took 5 for that. It's still not a land. Alright. It's a target, right? It targets me? Yeah, it's target. Okay, that's fine. Alright, he drew a land. For real? Alright, I'm not gonna counter that. Alright, I don't think I want a Cyclonic Rift. Actually, forces him to discard. And it might draw out a Force of Will or another counterspell. He's thinking. Alright. Can't pay for that. Not the spell I imagined. Definitely don't want to play anything right now. Alright, he hit a land. It's not what we want. If he plays Tasigur, I want to memory lapse it. Alright, let's just think twice again. The instep, I'm not too worried. A pull from tomorrow is pretty good. I'll take a pull from tomorrow. I'd kind of like to hit one of these lands, but pull from tomorrow seems too good to pass up. And we hit a land anyways. Alright. Well, that's not great. I'm going going to pull from tomorrow for 3, leaving 2 mana open. Counterspell once, and just let it slide. I'm pretty sure he has enough counterspells to run past that, but I guess unless he plays something here. You playing Tasigur? I decided to counterspell it. It makes it more expensive too. I really want to delay the Force of Will. Or another counterspell. Maybe that's a bit aggressive. I still kind of want to draw a land. I'm not going to crack this polluted delta. Do I want to... No, pull from tomorrow seems better. Just for 3. And we discard... Chromox, I guess? Now we're not super worried about what he does on his turn. Maybe I should have saved some counter spells so that we can do what we want to do. Alright, so he drew a Force Will because we knew that going in. Alright. Oh, High Tide. Oh, that is the one card I didn't want to lose. At least he took 5 damage for the Force of Will. I'm going to play Jace. If he wants to force it, he wants to kill it, that's fine. He's got a great deal more card advantage working than we do. But if we can untap with a Jace, it's going to be pretty incredible. Looks like we're not going to untap with a Jace. Abrupt Decay, that's fine. I mean, it's not great. Alright, a land. That sucks. And he's got Snapcaster Abrupt Decay too. Or Snapcaster him. Actually, Snapcaster him is really good. Yeah, here it comes. That early, I mean, maybe I should have Cyclonic Rifted it a turn or two sooner. I mean, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. He would have just replayed it. So like the early Dark Confidant that I couldn't deal with is basically ending us right now. Just so much card advantage. Right. He can actually stop himself from taking damage with the Dark Confidant. Well, that's interesting. Can that pull us back into the game? I mean, next turn, obviously. He's got a force of will. We need something to... should we wait? That's an instant. We probably should have waited in the first place, shouldn't we have? Because he can draw a Thoughtseize or something like that. And now he's going to prioritize it. Let's wait. Can I undo? I thought maybe I could draw something that would be useful. So we're taking 4 damage, possibly 7 damage. He doesn't get to decide what's on top of his library, but then the following turn he can stack a land. And as long as there's a land in the 3 cards on top of his library, he can never take damage again from the Dark Confidant. I don't know what the pause is about. Alright, he gets to cast Counterswell. Alright. Legacy's Lure. Alright, he takes 2. He can maybe afford to keep a card. I guess the downside here is he can use his mana to counterspell our Flash of Insight. So it's kind of a toss-up. It depends on what he draws and what he has. We know he has the Force of Will. I wouldn't mind a Snapcaster of my own to get that High Tide back. Since Jace is never, ever going to ever do anything on the board. What are you doing during the blocking phase? Okay, he's ahead of himself. Alright, that's fine. Another reason why Jace is never ever doing anything. I mean, we might as go, well, not High Tide, not Temp. No, let's go 8. I think it's right to leave these cards in there. on top of its owner's library instead of that player's graveyard. Oh, because it's flashback. So it just gets exiled. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. Mystic Tutor is pretty good. He has to counter that, doesn't he? We still live another turn at least. We could just take another turn and then Mystic Tutor and then take another turn and turn about and do nothing. So we probably should have done the Flash of Insight on my own turn. It's a small margins kind of thing. He played the Snapcaster Mage. Legacy's Lure does it for 0. It's tough. I don't think Walk the Islands does anything until we have something to do. Let's look to Mystic Tutor. Alright, he had a breeding pool. Another part that sucks about this deck is people can go to a low life level on things like Darn Confidant or Sylvan Library, and this deck cannot punish it. I mean, except for like Snapcaster Mage and a couple other things, there's just not any way to get in, you know, even a couple points of damage. Alright, you can have that. I mean, we're dead next turn, I think. Let's see if this Mystic Tutor resolves. All right. What do we get? Nothing's uncounterable. So we could get Mystic Confluence as a counter spell. We don't have enough mana to do all the things we want to do. It's really tough. I don't know if there are many ways out of this. What, we got 7 mana? 8 mana? So we get Turnabout and 4 more mana. Cryptic Command, maybe? We can't afford Force of Will. And if he has another counterspell, we're just screwed. Can we get in 4 damage somehow? I don't think so. Does this even do anything? Not really. But there wasn't really a game spell that we could play. that even do anything? No, not really. I'm doing it anyways. Are you playing Force of Will? He still has the Force of Will, doesn't he? He's playing Cryptic Command. And then we Cryptic Command. Counters target spell, return that thing to its hand. And he plays the Force of Will, and we're dead. So it wouldn't even matter if we had an action spell. So basically, we died to Dark Confidant on turn 2, and there wasn't anything we ever could have done about it. Alright, we got match 2. We are on the draw. We're playing against Sidisi. This is a mulligan. By the way, it's the Blood Tyrant Sidisi. This hand looks very keepable. I don't think I'm ready for a Walk the Aeons just yet. Alright, you got an elf. We take 1 damage. Clearly can't afford to play Jace next turn. Not with Sidisi coming down. It's just going to start doing too much damage to us. I think delay is the play. Are you just going to attack us? He sees the writing on the wall. I mean, because otherwise we would have just played Jace. Alright, another land's fine. Nope. Just Spell Snare. Because he's clearly going to get Cavern of Souls there. And then we're not going to be able to counter Sidisi, and that would be very bad for us. I'm going to play Jace now. Might play into a removal spell. We might just counter the removal spell. I don't think I'm going to block if he attacks. Let's delay. Delay is nice on commanders because neither side of the proposition is particularly great for them. That time I would block because he has no mana open. Can we put anything into our graveyard? We could play this Opt. We can play extra planar lens and then Opt. That still only puts, depending on what we draw. If we draw a 1 mana spell, we can flip the Jace. Is that Are we that worried about flipping the Jace? Let's draw first. It's fine. Oh. Well, we would have done it. Let's get rid of a land. Let's play this land and play extra planar lands. So this island that's tapped. Yes, please. Alright, he drew another land. He can try and play Sidisi again. I relapse that. Alright, and I mean, it's a tournament. You probably shouldn't give up that easily. But, oh well. Okay, we won. Alright, we got match 3. We're on the play. Playing against Jace. This seems fine, and we're on the play, so that's really good. We'll keep it. Misdirection is awesome. Engulf the Shores, less so. I guess if he has a Mox or something, that would suck. I guess he could spell snare us. Alright, he doesn't even... No, we can't mess with his Jace, unfortunately. Compulsive Research doesn't quite do it. Because it's 3 cards in her graveyard. Still, this seems like the turn to tap out for Compulsive Research. We've got a lot of land. I don't want to just discard 2 lands. So we'll discard a land. Then we'll draw. Discard another land. We got an Into the Royal. Let's get rid of another land. Then say go. Maybe I should have waited till I had a counterspell up to counter it on the way back down. That still seems pretty good. I can actually flash back into the Royal. Do we just want to do that? I want this in play before I start taking a bunch of turns. If he puts something into his graveyard, he can flip it. I want to Into the Royal it again. Just keep him off of his Jace. It's a pretty critical element of the deck. Bounce a land. I guess that gives him a land for the turn. Oh my god. And Magic Online is freaking out over a misdirection. I'm so confused. Are we stuck in a loop forever? Did it just restart the game? Are you kidding me? I was winning. Alright, am I on the play at least? I'm even on the draw? You've got to be kidding me with this. Alright, I'll keep this hand. I'm definitely filing for redemption on that. I was leaps and bounds ahead in that game. I mean, I wasn't guaranteed to win, but I was way ahead. I had 2 extra turns that I could take. It was confirmed that he didn't have any free mana counter spells in his hand because he had like 3 opportunities to just really blow me out with free counter spells. And that never happened. So we were going to be able to take 3 turns. He lost connection. I'll come back when he's back. Alright, so he came back. His client probably crashed from all of that. And he played... Alright, Aether Spellbound. That's a weird one. Also, these snow cover lands, like, they used to be pretty cheap, and now they cost like $2 a piece. They're ridiculous. Can't do anything about that. We can Thought Scour ourselves so that our Jace flips faster, hopefully. And hopefully not get this one bounced. Don't have a misdirection this time. We already know that I would bounce it. Oh, he's got the Aether Spellbomb, so it wouldn't matter. Misdirection doesn't stop the Aether Spellbomb. Alright. You can only keep one of them. I'm so confused what happened. He chose not to. Alright, we can't do anything with this Aether Spellbomb. We can opt at least. Force him to use it. Why does that say it's a commander? This game is totally hosed, isn't it? I will take a land in a land go match. Alright, that's fine. What? Where is my commander? It's so screwy. Oh, I'm going to keep this in because this is fun. But, oh my god, this is the screwiest things I've ever seen. This is supposed to be a land. This is... I'm baffled. I'm going to... This Temporal Trespass is so close to good. I guess they're all pretty good. I'm going to get rid of the delay. Um... Alright, so... I'm 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 just baffled. I just I've never seen anything quite like this. All right, cycling we can't do anything about. He's flipping his Jace. I'm gonna play a Snapcaster Mage empty. I don't think it matters that much what happens in this game. I'm gonna restart my client. I'll be right back. Alright, so it didn't bring me back into that match. It just totally screwed up. Um, so, I'm gonna file for redemption. I think we probably could have won that first match. Oh, geez, Leovold. Leovold is almost impossible to beat, in my experience. This is a great hand, however. If he's got an elf or something, then we're really in trouble. This deck relies so much on card draw. Sleight of hand isn't card draw. Alright. He can take our Chrome Mox, and that sucks a bit. Nothing in our hand really matters. But in practicing, Leovold is basically unbeatable. I have not been able to, like, it. Just Leovold itself is really hard to beat, and then the rest of their deck is also really tailored to what we're trying to do. I mean, I guess he just has a removal spell for... I'm gonna... Like, even as Jace itself is built around drawing cards, and... Alright. Expedition map is actually really bad, because then he can make an encounterable Leovold. Alright, let's just say go. Clearly we draw first. Discard a land. I wonder if I should have Scalding Tarn Mystic Tutored. That would have been 2 more. That wouldn't have been enough. So let's... If he tries to play Leovold now, we can Intuition for a free counterspell. I guess we can't really. What other free counterspells do we have? Toxic Deluge is really bad for us. I really need Jace to stay around. Where's Jace? Jace. There's just days. Alright, so Jace is gonna die. We have to accept that. Sorry. Don't want to let it get into my head too much. We're going to intuition no matter what, I think. So let's go ahead and intuition. Choose him. Let's get... I guess Daze and Force of Will are fine. And then something he doesn't... Is Daze not even in the deck? Daze isn't even in the deck. Alright, Force of Will. Extra planar lens. Vidalcan shackles. Does he just give us extra planar lens and has like an abrupt decay for it or something? That's pretty bad for us. Let's go. We'll try this. He's down to 3 cards, so it may be hard for him to get around these other 2 things. Alright. I was worried he'd give us the extra planar lens, actually, and we're a little bit committed to that play, and it might not end up working out for us. Kind of need to draw a land here. He could just get an island himself. Command tower. That's strange. Alright, Tarmogoyf. Doesn't worry me too much. We're actually pretty close to Ugin here, aren't we? Need another land. We actually could have cast the Ugin, couldn't we have? Because of the snap. Alright. This is going to be a pretty big blowout. Oh, we can't draw a card. Oh, that sucks. So we shouldn't have even done that. Oops, no, we want 2 lands. Snap that. Alright, we actually, despite the misplay there and tapping our Jace with no reason to do so, forcing us to discard the Merchant Scroll, he gave in to the Ugin. So, you know, I mean, that's one way he can win. I'm surprised we actually beat Leovold. That's awesome. Alright, we got match 5. We're on the play. Playing against Baral. We're on the play. That's pretty good. I don't hate this hand. I don't love it. I don't think we want to both do our commanders on turn 2. I think I'd rather wait. He could have a free counter spell. Alright, doesn't look like he does. Mental note's pretty good. You get an impulse or something. Against these control matchups, you kind of got to remember that you're not the control deck, you're the combo deck. And even Baral is more of a control deck than you are. So you kind of got to play a little bit more towards the combo angle. I think I'm going to let him counter Jace. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright. That actually would have stopped us in our tracks. Alright, he's got all the cheap counter spells. Need a free spell so we can temporal fissure twice. That'd be fun. Do we just play Jace into a counter spell? There's not many that punish us. There's a few. I'm going to try it. Not too worried if he counters it. Alright. He could have the polymorph or something, but there's not anything we could do about that. I don't think he's playing Unsummon. Oh, Cyclonic Rift. I guess, yeah, he does have the extra mana. That's fine. Next turn we get it for 2 mana. He has 5 mana open. Wish we had more mana for Temporal Fissure. Alright. Things are starting to get ugly now. 2 Merchant Scroll. Snap doesn't do anything. Even Cyclonic Rift doesn't do anything. Do we just want a counterspell? Let's just get a Force of Royal. That's probably fine. We'd like is, well, I guess there's not much we can do. This next turn. Jeez. Target creature on the bottom of his library. So we have to force that. Alright, this is a sorcery. And he's tapped down to 5 mana next turn. Oh, it's colored spells. It's not... Okay, that's the other Emrakul that has protection from instants. There's nothing we can do, is there? We can walk the Aeons and pray. Don't know if there's much we... actually, we could... If we got a really lucky Temporal Fissure... Just click any order. Can't you just click any order? We could bounce all of his lands and keep him... We just need Temporal Fissure for 3, and then he can't play for the Pact of Negation. Oh no, we just need it for 2. Let's walk the Aeons. We need a cheap spell. Yes. Need another land. Actually, that counts, doesn't it? Because we can deep analysis now. I don't think there's any way you can pay for that. Oh, Oh, that sucks so much. Alright, that happens. Oh, that's so brutal. We needed it for another one. Alright, that happens. Alright, so we went 2 and 3. We should have gone 3 and 2, probably. That Jace one was looking really good for us. We beat Leovold, which was nice. Um, been having trouble with this deck in leagues and stuff like that. I don't know. It just seems like it's won a few 5-0s and stuff like that, but it seems like it's not really well suited to the meta. So, like, there's so many control heavy decks and stuff like that. We didn't get to see it. It is good against Brea in my experience. Because, again, you play it like a combo deck, not a control deck. And, man, if we had just gotten one more spell out of that Temporal Fissure. Yeah, the summary dismissal. Oh, oh, that's so brutal. Oh well. So it was fun regardless. So I think I think it's definitely worth posting this up. I had a lot of fun with this league, even if we only went 2-3 and I need to file for redemption. But all right, you guys have a good night.